Business owners, entrepreneurs, and even my pastors, I got a question for you. Have you been struggling with the idea of knowing you should be showing up much more often on Facebook Lives, but maybe you are afraid or you just don't know how to do that well? Well, I'm excited because today we're going to pick up on the second part of 5 Facebook Live tips that you need to follow before, during, and after your lives. We took an opportunity to get with a group of entrepreneurs in our MMC intensive during our Lunch and Learn series, and I want to bring you into that conversation, and we'll be back right after this. Number 4 is offer context constantly. Offer context constantly. I've been doing it with you guys since we started this live. What I noticed is that a few minutes into this Lunch and Learn, I had somebody join the room. I was very cognizant of the fact that that person was just coming in the room. So what I did is I quickly stopped and paused for a minute to give context to where we're going. Anybody ever get on a live and somebody says in the chat, "Hey, I'm just getting here. What we talking about?" Anybody ever see that in the chat? It actually I've seen that on certain lives where somebody, let's say it's a consistent live. I'll use Wake Up with the Word with George Hawkins every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. He's there. There will be people that will jump on at 6:10, 6:15, and say, "I'm late to the party." They'll make a statement, something to the effect of, "Well, I'm late to the party." So the truth of the matter is that I need somebody to catch me up to where we're going. Now, in most cases, you're dealing with a person who is actually facilitating that live. At that point, they're so knee deep into their content, they don't even notice that the person is coming in. But if you create a culture of creating context, your tribe will tell them where they are, where you're going, where we are. As an educator, do me a favor, put your phone on mute. Great to see you, Deshelle. As an educator, Keith, one of the things that you probably have done over the years with your students, and that is if a student is late to class, you will encourage them to get with one of the other students to find out where we at. Because what you don't have time for is to stop in the middle of teaching and get them caught up to speed, because it takes everybody else off course. Am I right? Same thing for a live. Now, if you can do that quickly and concisely, that is a rhythm that, quite frankly, is really super dope if you can perfect it. And that is this. I have a rhythm that I've learned and I've crafted and perfected over time where I'm consciously and cognitively aware of who's in my room. I know that. So I will quickly bring somebody up to speed, but I have to be really careful because my flamingo can get me caught up in recap and I'm wasting time. So that's one of the reasons why I will often encourage my culture, guys, make sure that y'all keep them up to speed. And so when we talk about context, I also want you to remember the clarity questions. Context also means, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? And who do you do it for? When you're on Facebook Live, you are getting people to come into the room that you don't know, nor do they know you. So context sometimes is recapping who you are. For those of you guys, you'll hear me say it like this way. For those of you guys who just jumped in the room, my name's Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. My wife and I, a couple of years ago, started this amazing community. We help people grow their relationships with great intention in the area of marriages and in parenting. If you want to know any more information about that, click the link in the bio or click the link in the description and get that more information. So back to where we were. Today we're talking about, this is 15 minutes into the broadcast. We're talking about Facebook Lives. 5 things you need to know before, during, and after your live. You hear how I brought context in that, CJ? And I was able to do that. One of the other ways that I'm able to keep people engaged, we're going to talk about this in step number 5, is that I am very, very conscious of who's in that room, when, where, and how. When I don't say anything to you, I'm conscious of that. It's not because I didn't know you, so notice you. Now, here's what you also will do. Simultaneously, you will build a culture and a tribe that will do the same thing. So now if I am that way and I'm training my tribe to be that way, we're setting forth the culture in the room so that when people come in, they feel like they're up to speed because the tribe will take care of them. That's because you led the way. It's not because they just did that organically. We're talking about 5 things, guys, that you need to know before, during, and after your lives on Facebook. So we said number 1 was what? Somebody tell me really quickly. Come off of mute and tell me what was number 1. Anybody?
No. Know your audience.
Know your audience. No, not number 1.
Number one is telling people when you're going to show up.
Promote your broadcast.
Promote the lives.
Promote your broadcast. Number 2.
Prepare yourself for distractions. Or am I wrong about that?
Yep. Say it again. One more time. I'm sorry, Tiff.
Prepare yourself for distractions.
Prepare yourself for distractions. Number 3, somebody help me.
Time your live.
Say it again, Keith.
Time your live.
Time your live. Make sure that you're accurate. You know where your audience is. You're timing it just right. I know people who go live 3 and 4 times a day, but it's time. They know specifically they're going to hit a different group of people. Same message, but they'll go through live 3 or 4 times a day. And number 4, anybody can help us? What was number 4?
Offer context.
Offer context. And I want you to do that constantly. Number 5, guys, is more for after your lives. And this is critically important, particularly where algorithms are concerned. I need you guys to be responsive and interactive. Put that in the chat. You need to be responsive and interactive. Here's the challenge with most people who go live. They don't want to interact with you, actually. Let me say it this way. Most people want the engagement, but they don't want to lead the way in it. They love the chat being hot or lit, as they would say. But they're not necessarily the extrovert that it takes to get that party started and to get it going. I have trained speakers who actually won't ask questions of their audience because they're afraid of what their audience will say. In other words, I don't want you to take me off course, so I'm not going to ask you. Bad mistake when going live. And the reason why is because you won't get engagement. And here's the problem with that. Facebook will not push your stuff through their algorithm, through their platform. And so you will literally be dead in the water with 2 people every live that you do from now until eternity because you're not telling Facebook this content is worthy of your algorithm pushing it through the platform. I have 4,800 some odd people on my personal page. When I go live, I've never had more than, I think a good day, 100 people on live with me. That's an excellent day. And the reason why is because the algorithm is controlling that. So don't assume that because you got X amount of followers that all those people saw your message. Bad assumption. Facebook controls that. So you have to know the rules in order to play according to the rules. And when you know that, boom, that's why I favor lives over videos. Sometimes I will promote that I'm going live by going live. 2 days prior, I'm going to do a quick live. It's going to be 3 minutes long on my way to the gym. Hey guys, listen, I'm super excited. Coming up this Wednesday, we're going to be doing a lunch and learn around this information. If you struggle with this, and this, put me in the chat. Now I'm on my way to work out. Y'all ain't about to get in the way of me being great. Y'all be good. Have a fantastic Monday. And I'll see you Wednesday at 12:30 for lunch and learn. Do me a huge favor. Don't be selfish. Tag somebody. Share the love. Because at the end of the day, what? Hashtag. We all need some help. And I'm getting them jokers to actually say that in the chat. When they come on these, listen, that's how we promote Breakfast with the Brookses on a regular basis. I will jump on a live to promote Breakfast with the Brookses before we go live. And it works every time. When I look at the analytics on the back end, it shows that all of my traffic comes from the stuff that I promoted. And so it's consistent. So I want you to be responsive and interactive. And here's what you absolutely need to know. Facebook drives the comments on lives more than they do anything else. One of the most powerful ways to increase engagement online is to address the comments as they appear on your live. Now, here's some things you need to remember. You got 2 things you're attempting to do when you do that, CJ. You're trying to stay true to the audience that's there, that was there on time, that wants this content. And at the same time, you're trying to address and engage the chat, which sometimes are two different things. So how do you get away with that without disrespecting or dishonoring the audience, but still engaging? Is you do something really, really simple I learned years ago, and you put scribes in your chat. I get on the phone and I say, listen, MMC, I'm going to go live on Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. I need at least 3 or 4 of you guys to show up and hang with me. This is an email I'm sending to you. This is a phone call. This is a quick text message. Can you be available to scribe for me on that day? And here's the information I need you to drop as I'm talking. Website, this, that, the third, whatever I'm talking about. And I will put stage, if you will, 3 or 4 people in a room. Their sole job is to keep that chat going. That's their job. And when you do that, you don't have to come off your page, nor, if for my people who struggle with promoting themselves, it doesn't make you sound self-serving. If you really struggle with this idea of promoting or talking about your products and goods and services, which I hope for your sake, if you're in the MMC, that you're overcoming that. That's my goal, to help you overcome and get over yourself about having to talk about yourself. It's called a personal brand, guys. You got to do that, right? And it's not that you're egotistical, is that people need to know what you're doing and how you can help them. So you get over that. But if you're not there yet, stack the deck full of people who can scribe for you. And when that happens, it gives the energy to the room that makes people say, oh my God, and they stick around longer. And that's really the name of the game. So I want you guys to remember that if you're going to have some pretty amazing lives, you're going to really have to do at least, and there's a ton more. I only dealt with 5 things. 1, please promote the broadcast before you ever go live. Number 2, I want you to prepare yourself by limiting your distractions. That means for some of you, you may have to flat out write an outline out. I do it all the time. I got a big dry erase board sitting right here where I will absolutely outline what I'm going to talk about. And right now it just has something else because my outline is on papers that I actually printed out. But this is just a dry erase board that I will flat out write out the 5 things that I'm going to talk about, the 3 things. So you want to limit your distractions by being super prepared. Number 4, you guys want to make sure, and we said this earlier, please offer some context, but do it consistently throughout the thing so that the person that's just jumping on doesn't feel lost. And then the last thing is, please be responsive, interactive. One rule of thumb that I have is that after my live is completely over, I will go back about an hour and a half to 2 hours after it to engage the comments. I don't generally engage right away because I want the algorithm to build up the energy. Also, I want to capture a different group of people. So the minute I do that, I'm putting people in it. And as soon as they be like, oh yeah, that's right. People's minds and forgot 2 hours ago that they was just on with you. And so they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do that thing, or I'm excited about this, or I will now. An engagement is not a like or a heart or a thumbs up. Engagement is, so how did that help you? And actually have a conversation with the person in the chat. I hope that helped. I will say things, and this is a pat kind of a response to get it going. Somebody will say, if you ever notice when I ask people to come to my lives, I'll say, do me a favor, if you're a replayer, put hashtag replay in the chat so that I can engage you more personally later if I don't get to you today. I'm showing respect for them showing up, honoring the fact that they did, very appreciative. But you know what I'm going to do? Everybody that puts a hashtag replay, immediately when I go back in, I'm saying, glad that you could catch the replay, trust that it added value to you, hashtag we all need some help. They're going to say it did, and this is what it added. And I'm going to have a conversation. Can I tell you, I can't tell you how many people have come into my coaching programs just on that kind of engagement alone. And I ain't selling nothing. I'm not selling. I'm just having a conversation. And so I need you guys to understand, if you can show up and treat these platforms like they were originally designed for, guys. It's a reason they call it social media. It's because the goal is to be social. And most of us take this as some other thing. We want to sell something. We always want to market something. What happened with just showing up so that you could actually develop a relationship with somebody? And just maybe, because they now know, like, or trust you, they decide to do business with you. I hope that helped. Let's talk. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that content, and I hope it really helped you. The 5 things that you need to do, particularly on Facebook, before, during, and after your lives in order to get engagement and traction. If you've enjoyed this content, we definitely want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that more people can learn about what it is that we do each and every Wednesday. If you're interested in the M.A.P.S Master Class Intensive, click the links in the descriptions below. Sign up for a free discovery session. We'll be more than happy to chop it up, because here's what I know to be true. You cannot get to any place of significance by yourself. At the end of the day, we all need some help. Y'all be good, and we'll see you on the next episode.